All right, then we'll go ahead and get started. Just want to welcome everyone today to the webinar. We're going to be talking about how you can quote a job with Flexi, how you can save time and get those correct estimates for your customers. And today's presenter will be Mark Rugen. Mark has over 25 years experience in the sign industry. He's owned several sign shops, and today he travels the country all year training people on how to use Flexi, how to become more efficient, how to save money and time using Flexi to produce all the different jobs that they have. And with that, I'll turn the time over to him.
Good deal. Hopefully everybody can still hear, and you should be seeing a little bit of a graphic there. Just let me know. Make sure the video's working here. Can you see that, Stuart?
The quote a job with Flexi slide?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, we'll get started then. Okay, thank you, everyone, for coming. I know it's a lot of your time is valuable, and this is certain valuable time, and we hope to make it even more valuable by giving you a few pointers here on using some of the quoting opportunities built into Flexi. There's a lot of quoting software out there. Realize that some people specialize in the quoting. We're going to really go over some of the things that are contained within Flexi that might help you to do some quick quoting and get some things done. It turns out that in Flexi, they have built in to Flexi in even some of the older versions something called job estimation, and I'll show you that. That's within the design side of Flexi, and it helps you to figure out a job quote, and it's fully customizable. All of this is, so I think you'll appreciate that. When they introduced the cloud part of Flexi, they actually introduced also a quoting system there, as well as a new app that we just got finished showing at the recent ISA show in Las Vegas called SAi Flexi. So we'll show you a little bit of that as well. Hopefully I can get my phone to produce the images on the screen here for you to look at, but if not, we'll be able to explain it to you anyway. And some of you may not be aware, but if you're using Production Manager for your printing, there's actually a job estimation built into the Production Manager as well. So we're going to show all of that to you as well. So I think we'll just jump right into this and see if we can't give you some interesting things to think about when you're using Flexi. So what I have here is just a poster that's about 18 by 24 inches, and maybe I just want to produce a little quotation on this. So built into Flexi, if you go to the File Manager, the Edit menu, down at the very bottom you'll actually see Job Estimation. So Job Estimation, when you click on that, starts the Job Estimation part of Flexi. It'll open up a menu. You can ignore this menu. These are just defaults that come up right away. But it's kind of interesting because if you look at the top, it says Forms and then Estimation Editor. So I'm going to go to Estimation Editor first because I want you to understand that all of the amounts and the ways that you estimate and so forth, this is fully customizable within the Flexi product. So I'm going to actually click on, here it says Category Built In. I'm going to click on Color Printing, for instance. And, they've got this set up for CMYK printing, spot color, Pantone matching, patterns, gradients, and so forth. Again, on the left-hand side under Item, you'll actually see things like media. So they'll have like glossy, vinyl, backlit media, and so forth. Lamination is included in here. And at the bottom where it says Cost, Markup, and Minimum, that's where you're actually going to put in your values there. So you'll be able to bill by the square foot, by the minute, by a fixed amount. I mean, it's very, very customizable here. So you'll need to spend a little time on this. Obviously, we just put in some default settings there, but if you spend a little time on this, you'll catch on really quickly. It's not too complicated. So let me do an estimate on this particular job here real quick, kind of give you an idea of what it will do. First of all, what I'm going to do is it says Form, and right now it's set to Normal. I'm actually going to click on this and choose Color Printing. And what that's going to do is erase the stuff that's already in there, and it replaced it with a couple of things. First of all, it says Media, and right now it's choosing Glossy. In my particular example here, $15 a square foot. It's got the quantity, so it automatically measured the graphics that were selected, and it's calculated the square footage of that. Just below that, sign preparation, design and layout. There's nothing in there at the moment. If I wanted to charge, say, an hour's worth of my time, I could put in one quantity of one here, and that would be added in. And then at the bottom left-hand side, there's an Add Item button. If I click on the Add Item button, again, I'm going to go back to color printing. Let's say we're going to laminate this particular graphic. I'll choose lamination, click OK. And again, based on the square footage, and you can change the unit cost, the square footage cost live right here, or you can set it in your estimation editor as we talked about earlier. And then there's a tax rate, quantities, and so forth. So, you know, at, say, a 9% tax rate or something like that, we would, for this particular job, basically just give it a $98.27 is what it would be for this particular job. Now, you can print this out. Since it's an estimate, you can actually click on the print button, and what it would do is allow you to print copy. There's no logos or anything like that. This is just an estimate, but it's a great way to do a really quick quote. You could also export that file as a text file and open it in another software like Word or something if you want to, you know, customize it with your logo and so forth. Really, it's a really fast way to do a job estimate, and I think it's built right into Flexi. So the way I got to that basically was I went to the Edit menu and I went down to Job Estimation, and that's built into Flexi right there. Now, if you're using Flexi 12, 11 and 12, basically on the right-hand side, the second way you might be able to do a quote is to actually use the online quoting system. That's also part of your purchase. So on the right-hand side, you see the icons over there. One says Flexi Quote. Basically, you would click on that, and I already have, and I'm going to start up my browser here, and it would take you to your online account. Now, this is private to you. No one can see this. This is all, you know, very, very private and secure. But basically, it allows you to use the online quoting system as well. And this is really cool because it's going to tie into the app we're going to show you in just a minute, okay? So first of all, you can click on New Quote. At the very top also is My Quotes. This is actually showing you quotes that you've already done, so it's actually going to recall these. You can edit them, obviously, and delete them. When you click on Setup at the top, there's also a way to, again, include your own labor rates, your own formulas, your own materials, and so forth. It's actually got quite a bit in here for you already done, but again, since we're all kind of a little different in some competitive areas and some not, you can actually change these at will if you want to. And I want to show one more thing while I'm here. It says Resources. There's an online tutorial to help you get started with this. So there's a couple of videos that will allow you to show you how to set up your quoting system and then show you how to use it. And this is all part of what's called Sign Tracker. This is actually the part that you can use at no cost, but if you wanted to upgrade it and then include much more stuff, I guess, for your quotes, this is pretty cool stuff. You can get a 30-day trial, or you can purchase it if you'd like. But it's a very, very good capability. So let's go back to Flexi Quote again, and I'm going to click on My Quotes. And let's take a look at one. I'm just going to click on one that I've done. This is, a quote for our webinar right here. I'm just going to click on that. And basically what it does is it shows you your markup, your signage, your labor, commissions, discounts, anything extra, tax rates, and so forth. And then at the bottom left-hand side, it actually shows you all of those values in there. So what you'll want to do is set up your costs. Like, again, what's really nice, and you know that contractors do this all the time too. If you're getting work done around the house, they'll say, well, I'll buy the materials, but they're marking them up a little bit. So it's not a bad idea if you're quoting, say, on chloroplast or aluminum or plywood or whatever. you can add a little bit of markup in there for the cost because you're paying a certain amount. You can mark it up a little bit if that's allowed in your particular area. So this just gives you an idea of what it looks like. If I go back to Flexi Quote and I click on New Quote, then what it does is allows you to start quoting your signage. And it's basically on the left-hand side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's very straightforward. You could even add your own notes to this. So this is really a great thing to use here. Here's signage. And again, you can look up different formulas. I'm just going to pick something. Maybe we're doing, I don't know, window perf or something like that. You can type in the size, if it's, I don't know, 3 by 4 or something like that. It calculates the square footage. It gives you the price for each one based on, again, the information that you have actually changed in your version of this particular quoting system. And when you click continue, it literally wizards you through each part, which I find is very valuable because it's sort of an easy way to keep track of everything. So it's really good. And again, this is part of the system that you already have. It's part of your Flexi system. So on the right-hand side, again, in Flexi, you click on Flexi Quote, and that's going to actually start that quoting system for you. That's really nice. Now, if I go down to the bottom of this page, you're going to see on the right-hand side of Flexi there in the cloud part, there's the mobile apps. There's a mobile app store and there's also a Android app store. So at these stores, you can get apps that are being produced by SAi, the folks that make Flexi. And I'm going to start mine here. Let's make sure I have everything running. And there's a new app I'm going to show you called My Flexi and how it's related, how it's going to help you. So give me a second here. I've got to get this started on my phone. Yeah, it's not going to let me. So unfortunately, I can't show this to you live. But basically what this is this is an app that allows you to, on your phone, see the quotes that you've just made using the Flexi Quote, and you can actually edit those quotes. So what this will do then for you is while you're back at your shop and maybe you're putting together a quote there, while you're actually out in the field selling, you can use your iPad or your iPhone and click on My Flexi. It's going to have a link that links you right back to your online quotes that you just did. So it's kind of a nice way to quote using your actual phone to set up all those prices and things. So this would be great for salespeople or for the owner or for whoever that's actually mobile to be able to do those quotes there. So I apologize, it just won't start while we're doing this webinar, unfortunately. Okay, so that's the 2 ways or 3 ways. Let's go to back to our presentation here. The last way I want to talk about is actually for the production manager job estimation. And I don't know if you realize that this is actually in Production Manager. So I'm going to open up Production Manager right here, and this is what Production Manager looks like. I'm going to add a job to this, and I may add that same job, so forth, in the poster that we just worked, or you can send it from Flexi. Either way would be perfectly fine. Doesn't make any difference at all. So here's my poster right here. And that's going to put this job on hold. If you're sending it from Flexi, you definitely want to put it on hold in your hold queue right here. Once that's in there, you can either right-click. Those of you that have been to my class know the importance of right-clicking, don't you? Yeah, you do. So you can either right-click or you can go up to the File menu and just choose Job Estimation. When you choose that, it actually will start a very easy-to-use estimator for you right in Production Manager. Now, this is specifically for my print media at the moment. So, again, the second tab at the top allows you to input your own values, your own services, whatever those might be. So your own medias, your own substrates, laminating costs, finishing costs, so forth and so on. You can put those in yourself. And then the first tab allows you to actually calculate this. I'm going to uncheck automatic, and it automatically what it did was calculate the square footage of my print. So it was 18 by 24. Those figures are right. And I'm not going to print on paper. I'm going to print on glossy vinyl. and maybe I'm going to mount it to foam board and do some laminating of it. So at that point, again, with a say a 9% tax rate, we're looking again at the $78 for this one poster. What I like about this is if you're doing multiple copies, you can immediately see the update for all the copies that you need to get done. Or if you're, just repeating a job a certain number of times, this is really super easy to use. Now, what I like about this and the feedback I've gotten from a lot of the folks during classes and so forth is some of the folks are using this. They're actually putting in their cost for the materials. So they have 2 quotes. So for, in other words, where you see their lamination, they might put in lamination-cost and then lamination-retail. And what they can do then is they can actually figure out how much it's costing to do the job, as well as the ability to produce the actual quote for the customer if that's needed. And what the owners like about this is they're making sure that they put in the correct values, customized values. So if their staff back at the office, if they're out and can't be contacted, somebody comes in and wants a quote really quick, this is a really fast way to get that done. It's super great for the printing processes that are out there. So that's basically job quoting. It's really that easy in Flexi. They've done a really good job on these quoting systems. Again, as I say, there's lots of quoting systems out there specifically designed for, keeping spreadsheets and importing and exporting. That's not what Flexi quoting systems are for. These are systems to get a really easy way that's already built in. You don't have to spend any more money, and it's already done, and you can get these quotes done as quick as possible. I'd encourage everyone as well to please think about attending some of the seminars that we're doing. We go through this and many other subjects. We've got one coming up in Atlanta, another one in Fort Lauderdale, and the one in Fort Lauderdale we're doing is brand new to our seminars. We're actually doing a hands-on seminar. Everybody's going to have laptops. We're going to go through projects. We'll do job estimation. We're actually going to make some stuff so you can. You get a letter, I'll lead it, and you'll actually be able to use a computer to do some hands-on work. If you're interested in that, contact SAi. They'll be able to get you going on how to sign up for that. And everyone should actually really look at thinking about getting the training DVD. Just go to the store at SAi. It's available there. A really nice DVD, over 10 hours of training, lots of different subjects, great for the beginner as well as the advanced user. So we appreciate your time today. I think we're going to take some questions. Are we not, Stuart?
Absolutely. So if you do have any questions either about today's topic or if you have any questions about Flexi or how to match your color, or if you're having any questions about, weird things that you don't know how to do, Mark has a lot of knowledge. He'd probably be able to answer those for you. So we do have a couple questions already there.
Okay.
Russ, we will be posting a copy of the webinar. Like Mark said, we'll be cleaning it up a little bit and then just putting it on the SAi YouTube page. So you'll be able to view it there along with any other webinars that we've done in the past. And let's see, we've got a question here from Nathan. Wanted to know if you can embed your company's logo into FlexiQuote in the cloud sidebar.
I don't believe you can in the version that's the free version, but I know that all of that's possible in the Sign Tracker version, definitely.
Okay, so let me jot that down. So you can personalize that, the paid version of Sign Tracker. Okay, good to know. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we talked about the My Flexi app, and we also have the SAi Cloud app. And if you have a second, Mark, could you kind of talk about the difference between the two different apps?
Sure. Thank you. So while you're designing in Flexi and outputting jobs, so in a week, you have various jobs. You're vinyl cutting, you're doing contour cutting, you're doing printing, and that's all happening, as people come in or as you sell the jobs. Everyone that gets Flexi has a 5 gigabyte cloud account, basically an online account. And what happens is the amount of printing, the square footage of printing, the linear footage of cutting, and so forth, is actually being recorded for you so that when you go to the SAi app, that particular app tracks all of that information so that as a business person, you know what the square footage is, what the linear footage is of the to cut and so forth. And it gives you a number of capabilities to track your progress as a business during the day, the week, the month, even week over week, month over month, or year over year. So it's kind of a great way to say, okay, I want to know, how much printing did I do last month compared to this month, and it will actually give you charts as well to show you what's going on. The My Flexi app is more of a business app. It has, for instance, another great thing in that app is the ability to. It has a scanner, a barcode reader. So if you walked up to a banner or a sign that had a barcode on it, you could literally use the app to read the barcode. And there's a number of other features too. There's a video button. You can click on videos, and it actually takes you to the online training that's going on. So you can use it at home or at offline or when you're out of the office or so forth, just to watch videos and learn how to use Flexi better and so forth. So that's what that app is about as compared to the SAi app.
Okay, thank you. And for anyone interested, both apps are free, and I've posted a link in the chat window here, thinksai.com/mobile apps. Gives you a little bit of a description about each one and links to the Apple Store and to the Google Play Store where you can get both of those apps. So we have another question here from Ryan. Wants to know if there's any integration of the pricing with the artwork approval tool.
No, not that I know of at the moment. What Ryan's talking about is found in the edit menu up here called the artwork approval tool. So when I click on that, basically that feature in Flexi allows me to take the job that I have on the screen right now and actually integrate that into the ability to send that to a customer as a quote. Or actually to send it to them not as a quote, but as an image that they can actually approve. So at this point then, basically what it's done is it's certainly integrated the size of the file and so forth. I would fill in the customer's information at this point, send it, and then the customer gets the artwork approval tool, which is basically just the design itself. They can comment on the design, send back an information, and what's good about this particular tool is that it's not email driven except for the link to look at the file. So the preview of the image is uploaded. The customer looks at it online, cannot download it, which safeguards you from them stealing the artwork and your design and taking it somewhere else. And it's communicating by just the fact that yes, I've sent you a file to preview, and yes, I've approved it. But the quoting system is not integrated into that as of yet. That's something I'm sure that they'll take a look at.
Okay. Let's see, we have another question here from Andrea. Said that I rent the Flexi program every month, but I can't seem to access the cloud. It's telling me to do so in the next 1.78 days to validate the license.
That's very much a tech support question. I would get a hold of tech support guys, see what the problem is there. I don't know what the problem would be there.
Yeah, they should be able to access the cloud window at all times, right?
Yeah, typically what can happen, just a couple of things, is the way Flexi's set up, there's no dongle on it now, everyone. So it's basically your dongle is your hard drive and its connection via the internet to the servers at Salt Lake City. So about once a month or so, it needs to connect through the internet to the server. So there's only a couple of reasons that could happen. One could be some corruption or something, which the tech guys can help with, and the other is you have to be connected to the internet for this to happen. And there are occasions when firewalls or virus protectors might actually say, no, I'm not going to let you connect. So I would say work with the tech support folks and let them work through that with you. We'll certainly get it working. And even if it's if it takes a few more days, they can certainly reactivate you as well if necessary. So that's how I would handle that.
Yeah, tech support should be able to get that solved pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So we have another question here from Russell. said, are there total prices per role already in the estimator, or do we put that in there to estimate a job?
Yeah, the estimator is just filled with information that no doubt the person that wrote that part of the program filled in. You know, it's probably some general numbers. I would go in and check all those out. So I would go in and actually go into the estimator, and let me just go back to that real quick. Then I click Job Estimation, go to the second tab, and just go through each one of these is what I would do. You can delete the ones you don't use or add new ones. So, for instance, for material area, you know, it has like here's a high performance, and here it's actually giving you the cost. This is no doubt per square foot. And again, you can change that to a linear foot. You can change that to any value you want. So I would say, Russ will go in there and check these values and change them the way that you like it, the way that you want this quoting system to work. That's the nice thing about it. It's fully customizable.
Okay, let's see. We have another question from Perry. He asks, are there any plans to improve the zoom tool in the approval tool as it becomes very blurry when zooming in to look at small text?
Answer is yes. Absolutely,
okay.
yes. Yeah,
nice and simple.
Fully aware of that. The customer actually, like in this case, I have the image is 18 by 24. The customer should be able to view that at full size when they click on the actual image. So you might want to just be a little patient. I'm sure they're working on that, and I know I've also reported that to the spec guys as well. So thank you for bringing that up again.
Okay, thank you, Mark. So it looks like we're running out of questions. If anyone else has any questions, feel free to go ahead and type those in. We can get them answered today. If you think of one 5 minutes after the webinar is over, just go ahead and write it down. We'll be doing this again next month, so you can ask your question then. Like I mentioned, we'll be editing the recording, putting it up on our YouTube page. You should see that in the next day or so. And you're welcome to watch that and review anything we've covered. And we'll be sending it out in the email announcing when the next webinar will take place next month as well. So it looks like we've got one last question here from Kayla. She said, what is the link to add and edit the material and tools on the website that you showed?
Okay. So what will happen is, it looks to me, I think what your question is, when you click on the Flexi quote on the right-hand side here. So if the cloud features are turned off, at the very top there's a little cloud here. If that's turned off, you'll have to turn that back on. And what it will do is then link to those buttons. And then when you click on Flexi Quote, it will take you to your particular place where you have your system available. When you get to the Flexi Quote online, at the very, very top, there's a setup menu that you just click on. And then that's going to allow you to go through all of your different materials and so forth. So when you see some material, like here's aluminite, $5 a square foot, whatever that means, just click on the edit button, and then you can go in and change that. And again, maybe some of you are quoting in linear feet rather than square feet. Maybe you're quoting in volumes and time, services, so forth. So you either can change this to mean something else, like services, or just change the value right online there. And then that will actually show up the next time you actually use your quoting system.
Fantastic. So it takes a little bit of time to set up, but once you've got it, it makes things really easy.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I think that's everything for today. I just want to thank everyone again for attending today's webinar, and we look forward to seeing you again next month.
Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate your time today. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mark.